Now, our next guest of honor for today's session is Nivisa. Nivisa ji is currently a graduate student in USA. She studied international education. She has been working as a tutor for years for K-12 students and has been recently begun working as an ESL tutor as well. Her current career goal is to become a professor and work to make education accessible to all around the world. I welcome you, ma'am, and request the technical team to take ma'am on screen.
Hello, thank you so much for that introduction. As she said, my background is in international education. I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to study in education. My grandparents were educators, and I'm very happy to continue their legacy. But today, I want to talk about the importance of education and how education systems can be improved. In the world of today, education, along with healthcare, is becoming increasingly important. It's not only important for an individual's well-being, but it's also important for the progress of a nation. Through education, people can have the opportunity to land positions that have a higher income. With that higher income, people are more likely to pay more taxes, which the government can then utilize to better support their citizens. Education is not only important for those who wish to go into a STEM degree, but it's important for everyone. Now, as an example, I want to talk about how farmers can gain from an education. Farmers are the backbone of the world. Without the food that they grow, the world can't survive. And yet, those who live in farming communities tend to have the least access to education. Now, you might be thinking, why do farmers need to get that education? They can learn from their parents and continue farming. But even providing farming communities with education can improve our societies. A basic kindergarten through high school education can benefit them by providing them with the skills that they need, such as how to calculate how many seeds they need to plant to get a certain amount of profit. Now, some may even choose to get a college degree, which focuses on agriculture, which then provides them with the knowledge to make the empowered decisions that will affect their businesses, such as which pesticides they're going to use or which species of that product they're going to be planting. Now, as global warming continues to be a prevalent issue that threatens the stability of our world, equipping farmers with knowledge can only help us survive. And that's only one example of how education can improve our society. This brings me to my next point, which is increasing the educational infrastructure. It's highly important that students have a safe working environment to learn along with the necessary tools to do so. While school buildings are important, libraries equipped with computers are extremely important in today's technical age. Books are important for education, but having the access to current, updated information is also extremely important. Students that don't have the financial resources to have their own computer, or even potentially electricity or internet, a library is crucial to their education. Libraries are also an important way to increase access to a proper education, but scholarships are also extremely important. Providing education to those in need has been shown to effectively reduce the chance of their children living in poverty as well. There are many nonprofit organizations that work to provide a basic education to those in need, but there are still many children who don't have the access to an education. A really great way to combat this is to improve the quality of government schools. In developed countries, government schools are up to par and they compete and many times surpass private schools. However, in developing countries, government schools are decreasing in quality while the private schools are the gold standard. Unfortunately, those in poverty do not have the financial resources to send their children to private schools, which further strengthens the gap between the higher classes and those in poverty. Increasing funding to government schools is a common way to try and improve education, but there's so much more that has to be done. An important way is to set standards for what the students will learn. This ensures that all children in government schools will learn at least a certain level of knowledge as they progress through their education. When these students graduate, it's easier for them to apply to higher education because their diploma shows that they have that level of knowledge that is needed to be the basis for their future education. However, these standards can't be achieved without increased teacher education. In many developed countries, teachers need at least a bachelor's degree in education and the field that they will teach before they even set foot in a school. Some countries even require a master's education before beginning their career as an educator. This ensures that all students will receive a quality education from someone who is not only knowledgeable in the field that they are teaching, but also they are equipped with the skills to properly teach the content to the students. Finally, I would like to highlight the importance of extracurricular activities in schools. This is something that some developed countries are beginning to focus on as well, which is why they are beginning to move from STEM education to STEAM education. Now, why include the arts? When many of us grew up, art was just a hobby, but extracurriculars like the arts are so important for developing creative minds. All the technology that we use today was developed by someone who was creative and they thought outside the box to solve a problem. It's important to cultivate that creativity in young minds so that our future generations are equipped and prepared to solve the issues that they'll have in the future. In addition to the arts, sports are also extremely important. While sports are important for improving the physical well-being of children, it's also important for developing the ability to work on a team. In most careers, you have to work on a team and potentially lead a team. If we develop these skills in children from a young age, they'll be prepared to enter the workforce soon after their graduation. In order for our society to improve, we must invest in the education of our children today. By providing them with the knowledge and the skills that they need to succeed, they will be better equipped to deal with the problems of the future. Thank you so much to the Jaihind People's Movement for providing me with the opportunity to speak with you all today. And thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your conference.
Thank you so much, Nivisa. It was indeed a pleasure to hear your views and experience. निविसाजी म्हणाल्या की जास्तीत जास्त मुलांना शिक्षण हे भेटले पाहिजे जेणेकरून देश हा समृद्ध होईल. स्कॉलरशिप प्रोग्राम्स सुद्धा सर्व स्तरांतील मुलांपर्यंत पोहोचले पाहिजे आणि त्या दृष्टीने प्रत्येक देशाने प्रयत्नशील राहिले पाहिजे. Mahatma Gandhi once said, listening in itself is no education. Literacy is not the end of education or even the beginning. By education, I mean an all-round drawing out of the best in the child and man body, mind, and spirit. Thank you so much now, friends. Now I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Vaishnavi. Thank you.